Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's another wonderful episode of MLB with Nate the Great, yo, on the Virtual Man Cave channel, yo. You know what I'm saying? We got our good brother D Rigger holding it down tonight with us, you know what I'm saying? He gonna let it do what it do as he always do. And make sure you tune into his show every Monday night. D Rigger presents Moments with Unc. You know what I'm saying? When we break it down and stuff like that, we talk about various topics. We had a dope show last night. But make sure you tune in next Monday. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna break it down. And again, of course, don't make sure you tune in tomorrow to the Virtual Man Cave podcast where we got the whole so we got Nate Great, we got D Rigger, we got the chef, you know what I'm saying, the Troy, we got Arthur aka Professor, and we got our good brother Leo, you know what I'm saying? But what's going on, fellas, man? How y'all feeling?
Hey, hey Jay,
I'm good, chilling.
we're doing all right on here.
All right, that's what's
So,
up. That's what
hold, hey, you go, okay. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta excuse my friend Jay. Uh, good citizen Jay is having some good citizen internet issues right now, and we might have to just kind of keep him on the backslide because I don't want him to sound like a robot for most of the show.
oh
So
my
I'm gonna try to help him out.
yo,
Yeah, bro, you doing the you doing R2D2 real good tonight, bro.
oh man, it's not good. That is not good. Ladies
Hey,
and
Nate,
gentlemen,
how you sound, Nate?
Yeah, you breaking up a lot.
oh man, ladies and gentlemen, I'm with my new spot, so I guess I gotta find a new location to put my router. You know,
Put the rabbit ears up. Put the rabbit ears.
I gotta put the rabbit ears up.
With the aluminum foil,
All
Jay.
right, listen,
You gotta get
we
that
we gonna get
5G,
started.
baby. You gotta get that 5G.
Yeah, I definitely do, man. I gotta work it out, man. But I'm in my new spot. I'm gonna get it together. But we gonna start off, you know what I'm saying, how we always do every week with the recap of last week's games. We got the first video. Oh yeah, my internet is struggling. I have
You
more trouble
want
bus, yo. This is not good.
Hey, like every other show that we do there, it would always help if we could get some donations, so that we could help out our struggling brother over there, good citizen Jack, R2D2, whatever you want to call that ass tonight. He got the beep going really good.
Right, he's into center. Denzel Clark will lay out. Denzel with another catch. Denzel Clark poster giveaway night. Of course he had to have one.
Sells out.
Please.
So of course that's Denzel Washington. I said Denzel Clark from the Athletic, adding another highlight reel to this so-called this early incredible season so far. He's made some great plays before, as you've seen earlier in the season, with the catch against the Angels up against the wall. So he just
Hey
added
Nate,
another
let me ask you a
he added
question.
another web jam.
Nate, let me ask you a question about this guy though.
Hmm.
Other than these catches, what is this dude? Is he gonna be an all star because of these plays, or is this dude really like? Because we done had a few catches by Mr. White. This guy has been, but is he really doing something that's gonna make me say, well, if I don't see him in the All Star game, I got an issue.
He's young right now. You know, one of the young talents just joining the team. You know, center fielder for the team. He's only right now. He's only batting 209 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. But he's coming along. I say it's the verdict's still out on him overall long term.
Okay, but
So
I mean,
but
this is a
defensively he's
yeah.
fitting well in this young athletics team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I think this is the one detriment that goes with being an all-star because you could be an all-star defensively, but you're not producing at the plate. Does that, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, like, if they miss out on that part in baseball because one guy could probably hit the crap out of a ball all the time. You know what I'm saying? And they get out there in the field and just do some blubbery shit. You know, and do you want to call him an all-star or have like what this kid White is doing? This, yo, bro, this is early in the season, but that's some damn Trout like shit that he out there. That's some what's my man that used to play center field for the damn for the Cardinals?
Jim
What's his
Edmonds.
name? Edmonds doing that behind the back, diving around, jumping on jumping on the top of damn walls and yo, bro. I haven't seen.
Well,
I think
you gotta see this.
maybe
You gotta see this next video. You gotta see this next video right here.
is this the one with the flip?
And a ground ball from Goldschmidt. Flag down by
Oh,
Webster.
oh,
First spectacular play by Jordan Westberg. Well, Mississippi State shortstop.
tonight, Jay, may be the first night that I would say that I wish that we had these videos somewhere else, bro. Cause you gonna kill me tonight, bro. You gonna kill me.
What happened? What happened to the video?
What you mean? What
It didn't
happened?
come.
It been bruh. This man looked like he was Spotty Joe Matti because he was like here and he was over there and then the ball was over there and then nobody see what he did. I know my man on the
Yeah,
on the audio was tight, but
ladies and gentlemen, I greatly apologize
you
for
killing
the technical difficulties. You know what I'm saying?
you killing me,
Like I said,
Smalls.
I just moved into my new apartment. You know what I mean? So yeah, I gotta find a new place to put the
You know
antenna
it's
so I get
new
better look
because it ain't no bricks up
reception.
there. He need bricks. We need to get he need to be back in the bricks. When he's in the
And he
bricks, we don't have no problems, bro. Get your monkey ass back to the bricks. You see how
I gotta
Nate
get
got the
back to the bricks.
wall? You see how Nate got the wall? You see how I got the little thing in the back? Look, even the little ball is over there. You see the little glowing ball? I
So
just ain't turned the little glowing ball up, but the candle's there. You got to be regular, bro. You got to be
so
regular.
Nate, how do you feel about because you know in the virtual man cave, you know, we make adjustments on the fly, just kind of like how they do in baseball. As you can see, I'm having technical difficulties playing the videos. Do you think you could freestyle and let the people know what's been going on as far as the recap of the games last week?
Oh yeah, sure. Let's get it.
All right. Well, go ahead, my good brother. Break it down. What's been going on last week, man? Who's been playing? What's been going on?
Well, over the last week, we've had some amazing games. I mean, you've had a battle of the division in the National League East with the Mets and the Phillies. Of course, the Phillies did take that serious.
Wait,
With
wait,
them
wait,
against
wait,
the
wait, wait,
Mets.
wait, wait, wait. Hold on. Was it the Mets winning the division at the beginning of the week?
So the
And
week
after
before
they
that,
had that, they were ahead by like 3 games, wasn't it?
no. So the week before that, they were had 6 games. Then they went to play Atlanta, and they played in the division. And by the time they came to Philly, they were tied with Philly, and actually a game behind Philly after losing after getting swept by Atlanta. But they came back, and the Mets are actually back ahead in the division now. Currently at the moment.
And I'm just saying, usually when you get a lot of static about how well one team is playing, how bad another team is playing, but I haven't heard no
Yeah,
stuff about them
they're tied
recently.
with Philly right now for first in the division. So
All right,
we're gonna
cool.
we're gonna see how that plays out in the long run. You also had a great series between because over that Sunday, I mean that Sunday or whatever that weekend, you know, there were some great games that went on during that time. We also had the Tigers and the Rays. The Tigers went on to be the first team to get 50 wins.
That's
Um,
amazing.
Ho-
That's a
Jose
turnaround.
Jose Quintana pitched great against the Minnesota Twins over the weekend. You had the Cubs and the Mariners. Kyle Riley continues his home run power going on against the Chicago Cubs over the weekend. We also had a great series with the Red Sox against the Giants. As you know, Rafael Devers played against his former team just after recently getting traded a week before. Devers did eventually homer in that series against his former team, and they did actually beat the Red Sox. Finish the series 2-1, beating them in that series. The Houston Astros beat the Angels. The Astros have been on quite a run lately that nobody's been talking about either. The Tampa Bay Rays have continued to stay hot. The Padres took out the Royals in their series. The Dodgers, of course, they swept the Nationals during their series. Then at the beginning, the top of the week, the Yankees salvaged a win out of the series against the Cincinnati Reds. They didn't look good at all during that series. They were down. They lost 6-1.
They ain't look good in a while, yo.
They lost 6-1 on the 23rd on that Monday game, and then on that Tuesday game, they lost 5-4 in extra innings in the bottom of the 11th inning. They did salvage the next game, and then they did win tonight against the Athletics. The bats finally kind of came alive tonight a little bit, but they held on to get the W this weekend. Atlanta had beat the Mets again, as I said, during that series. Baltimore Orioles continue to falter. We also got the Dodgers. The Dodgers beat the Rockies. That don't count. I'm sorry, no disrespect to the Rockies. They've been playing better than they were a few weeks ago.
Rockies got that catcher on that team, that the Mr. Home Run, right?
Yeah. No, you're thinking of Seattle. Kyle Riley. He plays in Seattle.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay, all right.
And the Angels have actually been battling pretty well. They're one of the better teams. They're playing better than what they were expected. Because going into tonight, they were 40-40 at a 500 record.
Okay.
So and they really played well under Ron Washington, which I'm gonna talk about that more in the news section. And then we had other series that went on throughout the week. The Giants and the Marlins. The Marlins took that series against the Giants. The Marlins have been playing. They've been playing kind of scrappy throughout the season so far. So that's kind of like what's recapping what's going over the last week. Garrett Crochet pitched a great game. There was a great game the other night, Wednesday, between Jason Mariosky and Paul Skeens. Mariosky from Milwaukee did get the better of that game against the Pittsburgh Pirates, as there's two pitchers that are going to be that look like they're going to be the future of Major League Baseball going forward. So that's I don't know where Jay is or if he's still listening or not, but
yeah, he don't even lead us into the next. What's the next subject? What they got going on with this one? I know there got to be some videos somewhere because that's what you're good for.
Now.
Oh, there we go. Wait, whoa.
I was trying to fix my internet,
Whoa, hey. You went and cleaned that up, dog. Okay.
I was trying. Let me see if I get one of these videos up here,
He went all kind of 4D on our ass, Nate. Look at that shit.
And while Jay's trying to populate a video, give a quick recap of tonight's games. Philly beat Atlanta. Philly's up on Atlanta right now in the bottom of the third, 11-0. Oh, go ahead. That ball going in the most. Yeah, we might have to call it. We might have to call it a wrap on the recap videos this week. Astros are up on the Cubs in the top of the ninth, 7-3. This is Kyle Tucker's return to Houston after signing with the Chicago Cubs in the offseason. Milwaukee's up on Colorado 7-6 in the top of the eighth. The Dodgers are up 5-4, and the Kansas City Royals in the bottom of the eighth right now. Shohei Ohtani did hit his 29th home run. The Angels are up on the Nationals 5-2 currently right now in the top of the fourth inning. The Marlins are up on the Diamondbacks 2-1. The Mets in final scores, the Pirates beat the Mets 9-1. Yankees defeated the Athletics 3-0. Will Warren got his 5th win of the season. The Baltimore Orioles demolished the Tampa Bay Rays 22-8.
Hey, you saw that wasn't the Ravens?
Ravens against the Bucks.
22-8. Yo, they was putting go.
I guess that they needed that after they lost earlier in the season, like 22-3 back when they lost to Cincinnati. We got the Twins defeating the Tigers 4-1. The Tigers were the first team to reach 50 wins this season. The Cincinnati Reds defeated the Padres 8-1. It was a no-hitter going all the way into the 9th inning for Cincinnati's starting pitcher Nolan Martinez. And then you have the Cardinals beating the Guardians 5-0. Blue Jays shutting out the Red Sox 9-0, and the Giants defeating the White Sox 3-1. In the news, Jay, we can skip the videos. I don't know if he's still up there to post the news. But while he continues to go with that, we're just going to say the first topic of the day is about Ketel Marte and his situation, a situation that happened the other night in Chicago. Apparently, a fan has said some offensive remarks to that affected Marte about his late mother, who passed away in a car crash in 2017.
Right.
That fan was taken out of the game. Was thrown out of the game and banned from all stadiums. Marte gave more background detail today, stating that what the fan said was that he texted his mother last night. And so that's what got Marte feeling emotional, and he was upset about the comment. I've seen comments about people who said that, oh, that's all he said. It sounded kind of soft for him to be offended by that comment, and that. But I feel like there's, because and there's a lot of people are saying that, oh, maybe he didn't know that his mother was dead or anything like that. But
Why would you wait a minute? That's the part that starts icing me right there. I mean, why would you, in the first place, as a fan, talk about a player's mama? You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's the qualm to, but you just don't. I've
Exactly.
never heard a fan just scream out about a player's mother just to be screaming it out, unless they were already within an interaction and then they were going at it. This dude just, hey, I texted your mom last night. So this dude had something. He knew something. He had to be following this kid
Listen, you
to
know what
say
I
some
hate?
shit like that.
You know what I hate or what I dislike? When fans or people who come, spectators, let's not even call them fans, spectators come to watch the game, and they talk about, and it doesn't matter any game or any sport, and they choose to talk about the athlete's family. Talk about the athlete. The athlete's
Right.
family has nothing to do with anything that goes on, bro.
It
Keep it to the
it
athlete and keep it to the
befuddles
sport.
me that you think that you could get into a player's personal life that bad. Why is that? Why you're a deranged person if you want to be that involved in a player's life, bruh, that you say something, especially as that, bruh, that's not even horrifying. That's really like reasons that you would want to run into the stands and take somebody the hell out, bruh. Especially knowing the situation. Especially knowing the
Yeah,
situation. And he'll say, oh, well, I was just teasing him. I didn't know.
nah,
Come
that's not even
on,
funny.
man. That's not that don't
That's not
even sound like that. That don't sound even right from the get go. I think the guy that was standing there who was gonna usher him out of there should have popped him in the mouth when he said that shit. Like
Nate. What
you
I say, Nate? What I say the other day?
disrespectful.
What I tell you the other day, Nate?
Pop that motherfucker right in the mouth, huh?
I'm just saying. Sometimes people slip
You
going up the
is that what you
steps.
said? Is that what you said, Jeff? Is that what you said, Jeff?
Pretty much.
Yeah, bruh. Oh, easy
He should
peasy,
have got an
bruh.
old school speed knot. And I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
condone
Oh, yeah,
violence.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't condone
yeah.
violence. You know what I mean? But you don't talk about nobody mother, man. Like leave that alone, bro.
Not
And his
like
mother
that.
passed away.
Not like that. Not like that. I don't
Shoot.
care. I don't care, bro. He's a player, and I don't
Now,
see how somebody in the stands could have any reason to go to that level
Nate.
to talk about somebody.
Now, on the brighter side of things, though, Nate, my Mets have been
Hold
doing
on,
kind of
hold on, hold on. Before we get to the match, because I wanted to I did want to say one more thing about it.
okay.
I,
My bad.
I agree with both of y'all on that. And the thing about it is, I look at it in another way too. Now, what if he would have? What if the fan would have been heckling him about something else, and then Marte goes, "Oh," or what if he just said something like, "Oh, well, maybe what if Marte's mother wasn't passed away, and he said something about his mom? I texted your mom last night." And he might have said, "Well, I was smashing your mom's last night," and then he'd be like, "Oh, my mother's dead. My mother's dead." So now you're going to say the player should have had more restraint and shouldn't have said something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so because that he wouldn't. The baseball player he's a public. His life is public information, unfortunately. So as a fan, as a spectator, we probably knew. You know what I'm saying? He was privy of
Yeah.
that knowledge. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say he probably knew that his mother passed away. That other gentleman, his life is not in the limelight. So if that was a rebuttal, hypothetically, I don't think we would be mad at the player.
Right, but I'm just saying. Then you'll have some people in the fans say, "Oh, he need to say all that," and the person's mother's dead, and he's offensive, and now they want to try to sue for damages for
I would
mental
have
damages or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that's
nah,
what they'll say. Try to say, "Oh,
I get what you're trying to
he's a
say.
professional player. He should have handled that better."
He should know better. I would have been like, he
That
started it.
yeah.
Right.
He started it, I finished it.
Right. Exactly. So
I would hate if that was be. Hey Nate, all jokes aside, because of society today, you're absolutely right. That would be the actual play on that. But let's now, with common sense and thinking, if you heard somebody say something like that, I'm pretty sure most people would be like, "Are you kidding me?" You would think that they would anyway. I think somebody with common sense hearing that argument coming, especially from out of nowhere, again, out of the stands, really, bruh. And then I wouldn't blame the athlete for anything if there was a retort. If there
and
was a retort, I wouldn't. I'd be like, I would have said things. Said, yeah, you gonna talk about my mama? Yeah, like you said. Well, while you was tweeting, she was teeting.
Now,
So you know what I'm
what I
saying? Yeah.
what I will say is though, I do commend the coaches and whatnot because the coach was very adamant and very
yeah,
upset. I wish I could play the video because the coach was hot. Like, nah, like Brody,
Yeah,
you
that
better
dude
be
tried to.
glad I
Yeah,
can't
he
get in the
flew out
stand.
there. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
like
damn near jumped at the top of that rail on that in that on that dugout. I thought he
and
was gonna climb over.
and then
yeah,
you notice when he did say, for those who didn't see the video or may not have seen the clip, he used some choice words and was like, his mother died, and actually heard a woman in the background saying, it's okay, like,
That was that kid's. I believe that was that kid's. It had to be that kid's mother, or aunt or something, because she was trying to quell that real quick. She was trying to
yeah.
quell that down. Yeah, yo,
yeah,
bro, you can't quell that.
yeah.
And
It's
then
okay. You'll never come to another game again. It's okay.
Yeah, like that matters. It's like those are the type of people. It sounds right now, it sounds barbaric and it sounds a little mean, but like they say, hey, internet, do your job, and they know his name, they got him
Oh
now.
no, the
Yeah,
internet's
he's
doing their job.
yeah,
Internet's
you know what I'm
definitely gonna do its
saying,
job.
and they gonna listen. Everybody getting tired of this rude person concept. It ain't gonna work, and it ain't. And again, that thought again, Nate, you're absolutely right. The professional should be the one who shows a little bit of control in this situation. But you're right, Nate. We
Wait,
also forgot that the
so let me ask you
professional
this.
is human. He's
Wait, let me ask you this.
human.
So when we say professional, right? He's a professional. They're professional athletes. They are being professional because they're playing their sport. They're playing whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're doing their job. I don't
Right.
see where you gotta have manners to be professional.
Oh,
If
believe
I'm
me,
being
Jay.
heckled, I mean, I get it. I understand what society
Yeah.
rules and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, but if I'm being heckled, I'm a human being. My job is I'm not a professional at public speaking or professional at anything else. I'm a professional athlete. I play this sport. I'm really good at it. If you heckle me, I have the right to heckle you back. Not saying I got a right
Right.
to put hands on you or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
let
Mm-hmm.
me use you using your words. I'm gonna use my words.
Words have never hurt anybody, or so they
Now,
say.
from
Words
where
have
I
never
come
hurt
from,
nobody from what they say. That's what they
remember
say.
back in the day, they used to call it playing the dozens, right? Who got better
Right.
jokes? Who got a better joke? That's all.
So if you could think faster than the other person, usually you came down with the quicker line, and that was it. And obviously, my man wasn't thinking.
But
You know,
you know who was quick though? The Mets was quick. Nate, well, they hitting back to back to back. That's what that Mets was doing. Back to back to back.
Yeah, between Brandon Nimmo, Francisco Lindor, and Juan Soto, they hit 3 home runs in a row against the Phillies over the weekend, which
Why you say
also
it like
included
that?
a
Wait,
play where two Phillies scored at the same time, running back to back behind each other.
yo, bro, that was a dope. Yo, my man was on him like, where'd he come from? He came around second base, and my man was on his tail.
Nate,
Like, let's go.
Nate, I don't appreciate the enthusiasm that you had when you was talking about the Phillies, but then when you were talking about the Mets, you was like, yeah, and the Mets,
Did they
that's
do
fast.
something?
What I
Did
did
they
notice
do
Yeah,
though is
something?
go ahead, Nate.
what I did notice, Jay, is that your internet all of a sudden doesn't work today when we have great video of Mets fans dancing in the crowd. Now all of a
Yo,
sudden his internet doesn't work.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna bring that up next. Like we had, the aliens dancing, and it was funny. I wasn't gonna play the video, but Nate was like, "Yo, you gotta play it," and I definitely
Yo.
was. I apologize for the internet not working. Um, I'll even play it next week when my internet's working.
Wait, you can't be making no promises you can't keep, motherfucker. You told me it's time to tell us you about to. Hey, we need you to look here, man.
hmm
Donations, donations, donations. My man Jay just moved in, but it don't mean that he got all his business and stuff correct. We might need to help him out. A GoFundMe may help. Can you send money? It would help a lot. Look at him. He got on his hoodie. He might be needing a place to stay in a week. Help your boy out. Donations, donations, donations.
Here we go. Let's
We can
see.
save my friend. You could save my. Where's Sarah McLachlan singing that song? In the eyes of
All right.
whatever that shit.
Killing it now. You killing it. It was funny, but now you got it. But nah, you know what's also dope though? How the fans were singing Lindor's song, yo. That
Oh,
was dope.
you mean they were singing My Girl?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah,
That was dope.
and those are the fun things about the game of baseball that happen, especially during the summertime. I know it was hot, and I know it was, and for them to be doing that, I know it was hot out there in New York over the last couple of days. So
Yeah, but yo, what was going on out there with in LA, yo, with that dude Max Muncy, yo, if I said his name correctly.
no, you did. Max Muncy, he went out there. He's been hitting fantastic for the Dodgers the last couple of weeks. Always has, but the last couple of weeks he's been just phenomenal. He had a 3-run home run. He had a grand slam home run in Colorado to give the Dodgers the lead for them as they swept the Colorado Rockies. Dodgers, of course. I mean, the Colorado, they're still running the top of the division, but they have San Diego and San Francisco on their heels. So that division isn't necessarily wrapped up yet. Um,
Man, it's cool. I
another thing in
mean,
the
the
news I
season
wanted to
talking
mention
about
was
wrapping it up.
another thing in the news I wanted to mention was 'cause I know we kind of freestyling this week with everything going right now, but Ron Washington will be out indefinitely for the rest of this season due to a medical issue. He started this occurred back on June 19th against the Yankees. He started experiencing shortness of breath, and so they decided that they would that he will be out for the rest of the season. Ron Washington is 73 years old. Again, he helped the Angels team to currently like almost a 500 record this season, playing better than what people thought. The Angels had struggled over the last few years, having 9 straight losing seasons and 10 straight non-playoffs seasons as well. Ron Washington is regarded very well. He was always like a third base coach. He's well liked amongst players and coaches. Um, Bench coach Ray Montgomery is going to replace him for the remainder of the season. Montgomery was placed as bench coach for the Angels in 2021. So we wish Ron Washington well, and a healthy and speedy recovery. Take his time, and we hope to see him out there next year.
Hopefully, as soon as possible.
Yeah, he's not coming back for the rest of the year.
Damn.
Chase Burns from the Cincinnati Reds made a great debut against the Yankees, second overall pick in last year's draft, amateur draft. He started pitcher. He struck out his first 5 batters that he faced against the Yankees in his debut. He allowed 3 runs and 6 hits in 5 innings, and he struck out 8. And that was in Tuesday's game that the Reds eventually won in 11 innings, 5-4.
Didn't Ohtani get busy out there in LA, yo? Didn't he get his first strikeout as a Dodger?
Right, he had his first strikeout as a Dodger. It's his first game pitching for the Dodgers since he joined the Dodgers. Of course, he was out all last season, recovering from a arm injury. Now I don't know how they're going to handle this going forward, because I noticed when they do have him pitching, it's usually like 1 inning. And I understand, the Dodgers with their rotation they have, but I think right now maybe you should relegate him to the bullpen instead, because you're having to pitch 1 inning, and then now you have to warm up another pitcher to come in and start and pitch, and hopefully he can give you 3 or 4 quality innings, maybe even 5, starting from the second inning on. So I don't know. I feel like you're wearing you're going to wear the arms during all of that, and maybe you shouldn't start him off as starting. I know you paid all that money for him, so that's what you paid him for. You didn't pay him to pitch out of the bullpen, but pitching 1 inning in the first inning and that's it.
Yeah, that's not a good look, man. You might as well just let him rest, yo. But you know who's not getting no rest though? The LSU Tigers. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the World Series champs.
Yeah, LSU swept the College World Series against Carolina Coast, which is now their 8th championship for that franchise. They swept Coastal Carolina, winning game 1 1-0, and game 2 5-3. Again, they won the title in 91, 93, 96, and 97, 2000, 2009, and before this past week in 2023 was the last championship they won.
Oh, so they serious. They don't play no games.
Yeah.
Okay, one is in their recipe. So I don't know. I'm mad we can't show the video, but what do you think about the Coastal Carolina coach? You know what I'm saying, Kevin Shaw, saying that he didn't bump the umpire after the injection.
Well, he actually didn't bump the umpire, like he was saying, and you can see it. It was in it. The umpire probably was in his ego. Now, did he approach towards him? Yes, he did, but he in no way for the umpire tripped over himself. I think he might have tripped over his colleague. And it's just the fact that he was so close, it looked like he bumped him, but he never did bump him at all.
I thought he tripped over the base.
He just did. They weren't even by the bases. They were in between home and first, like on the outside the foul territory line. And it was just the umpire. He might have backstepped a little bit and he fell. And so they made it like he pushed him. He pushed him and then he bumped him and he was thrown out of the game, which was wrong because he did not bump him at all.
Now, do you think him getting tossed out the game cost his team the game?
No. I mean, you like to have your coach there, but LSU was still a good team. So would it have made a difference? We'll never know. But I don't think it that much of it. I think LSU still probably would have took that game regardless. because they were on
Okay,
the they were on a mission and they were one of the best teams. Coastal Carolina they were on like a Cinderella type run.
got you. So can you talk about Nate how dope Chase Burns is doing right now? His debut.
I just did.
Oh my bad, I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Uh,
My
It was
bad.
one
Must
of
have been.
them. It was one of them glitches.
It must have been. I
um,
bet.
and other I know you had a list, but I'm just gonna roll along. You if you want to throw out the topic, or I can just go ahead because
I know. Do what you do, brother. Do what you do.
also unfortunately sad news in the Mets world. Um, Griffin Shanning, one of their bright pitchers in their rotation, went on a 60-day IL for a ruptured left Achilles, and is found. And the later news just found out he's actually going to be out for the remainder of the season.
They were
Griffin,
saying months when they first diagnosed it. I was like, it's an Achilles. A month,
I
a month.
well, while here doing the show, I was keeping up on the updates. It's determined he will be out for the remainder of the season. Griffin was one of he helped that Mets rotation through 16 starts. He was 17-3 with an ERA. I mean 7-3. Sorry, 7-3 with an ERA of 3.77, which was a vast improvement from last year when he's with the Angels when he had a record of 6-13 with a 5.19 ERA in 32 games. So we wish Griffin a speedy and healthy recovery. Hope to see him next year back with the Mets and out there and helping that ball club get with their chances of being potential World Series championship contenders.
Hey, that ain't too bad. Um, yo, did you talk about the players? Did we talk about the players of the week yet?
No, I noticed Kyle Riley was one, and
I don't know how to say Giuliano Suarez.
Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
My
for the
bad.
Arizona Diamondback. Well, you got the thing up if you can read the stats off real quick.
My man Cal got 10 hits, 5 home runs, 12 RBIs, and what is that? A 1.606 OPS? I don't know what that
Yeah,
is.
On base slugging percentage.
yeah.
Okay, that's why we got you here, huh?
Hey,
Then my
I'm just
man,
helping out. I'm helping out with the acronyms. That's what I do.
then my man E Money Suarez, he got 11 hits, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs, and he got a 1.464 OPS show.
Yeah, and
You know
those
what
are
I
your
mean?
players of the last week.
Shoot. Hey, you doing numbers this last week, yo.
Yeah, both of them have. Kyle Riley just been Kyle Riley is a Hall of not Hall of Fame All Star. He is part of the All Star ballot, which so far a couple names that was in. I meant to add that in there, but Aaron Judge. I'll do that for next week's show. Since we'll be coming up on All Star Weekend for the All Star Week is coming up shortly for baseball, and a week after that, a week or so after that.
Okay.
Him along with Aaron Judge and a few others will be you will see in this year's All Star game.
I was,
Now,
what's okay, Jay.
no. I was gonna ask, what does Nate think about Max, whatchamacallit from the Blue Jays, schizophrenia. I can't even say his name. Man, wild names out here. Um, Activated from the 60-day injury reserve list, yo.
Who? Max Scherzer? Is that who it is?
Yeah, I can't say it. Yeah, from the Blue Jays. You're not gonna have
Yeah.
me say these names, man. like, like for real, I'm struggling. Like I'm trying to. I said Max for the Blue Jays. You should have known who I was talking
No.
about.
Hey man, hey, come on, man. Matt, the
Nate,
guy
I
with
mean,
the eyes. You should say the guy with the eyes. The guy with the eyes.
I told you what happened, man. I hurt my jaw earlier. Tooth is hurting and stuff like that, man. I'm struggling, man.
I
Jay
feel
don't know
you,
no play.
Jay.
Once they leave the Mets, he no longer recognizes them.
He had his name down for every year that cat was there. You seen Scherzer throw that ball the other day? Scherzer was and now all of a sudden his match
Whatever.
is
So he did
Whatever.
recently just return from the IL. He's a 3-time Cy Young winner. He did 5 innings and gave up 3 runs in his first appearance on Wednesday when for the Toronto Blue Jays, which is his first appearance since March. They played against the Cleveland Indians, which the Blue Jays did end up losing that game 5-4 in 10 innings. He pitched. He gave up 6 hits also with 3 walks and 83 pitches with 4 strikeouts as he was returning back from an inflamed right thumb, which put him on the IL in the first place. Now,
And
they're just going to be keeping an eye on his thumb to see how it holds, to see if he'll be able to go to the next start and how to proceed with Scherzer going forward. Scherzer, of course, he's been in the league for 2 years, one of the most elite pitchers at one point. Still getting paid a lot of money. I don't know if whether maybe you'll see how he is as a starter. Some of these pitchers as they get older, he's 40 years old. I think this is a good time to maybe think about. I know he's a Warrior, so he's not going to want to go to the bullpen, but sometimes he can be more beneficial to your team in the bullpen than as a starter. An example of that was Tim Lincecum, who was the San Francisco Giants star pitcher, but then moved to the bullpen during that 2010 decade when the San Francisco Giants had won 3 championships in a 5-year span. So just something to think about. Moving to the bullpen is not a demotion. That's, to me, is just doing what's best for the team at that point. At that point, especially when you're coming back from injury. Jay, you done fell asleep, man?
Nah, I didn't fall asleep. Hold on. I'm trying to do some behind. See, you know what? Since you calling me out, right? You calling me out, right? I'm trying to do some behind the scene productions to help us reconfigure everything going on. All right.
don't
So,
get excited, Jay. If you get too excited, you'll start blickety blicking.
all right, hold on.
Don't
All right.
don't blickety blick. Don't blickety
So,
blick.
what I was doing was doing some behind the scenes production stuff right now. I was talking to my other correspondent, Leo, just to let him know that, if he could post some videos and what video to start with, so we can actually play some videos tonight on Nate's show. See, this is what I do. Even though I might make a mistake, I'm gonna sit here and try to recover and recoup. I got 3 turnovers, but I'm trying to get some assists out here. I'm trying to get 4 assists.
Hey, he feels a
So,
little
so in the
bad
meanwhile,
about it.
while he
Feels a
goes with
little
that,
bad. It's okay though. He gonna
also
help us fix it.
and going forward in the meantime, while we giving it an early promo, August 2nd in Bristol, Tennessee, you have the first 2025 MLB Speedway Classic, which is going to be between the Atlanta Braves and the Cincinnati Reds. Where they'll play at the Speedway Classic out there at Bristol. So basically around the racetrack. So that game will be
Wait,
on August the 2nd.
August the 2nd, Bristol, North
Tennessee.
Carolina, or
Bristol, Tennessee.
Tennessee. They gonna play baseball in the middle of a baseball track.
Race cars. Well, it's gonna be kind of
A
like
race car.
surrounded around by it, the way they have it set up. But the way I've seen the pictures on how it looked like it's gonna be set up. So it's gonna still have that race car theme to it, and it's actually gonna be the first American League or National League game played in the state of Tennessee.
It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be miserable. And they gonna be up there talking about this is Graceland.
Yeah. So
That sounds crazy, yo. That just sounds what is that supposed to be? American and hot apple pie?
no, I
What in
just
the
want to
name
say,
of chicken and what is that?
yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to the good brother Leo, who is behind the scenes right now trying to get some videos together so we could post it and whatnot. That is the Brody right there. This is what the Man Cave is all about. You know what I'm saying? We help each other out. We do what we got to do to make sure we get a show rocking and rolling. Even though Nate and Unc is doing a wonderful thing
You
right
ain't
now.
got to do that. Fuck baseball.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yo.
We
Yo,
appreciate we appreciate the we appreciate the views of Batman as he's taking the night off.
Word, he came in and he didn't even have the music.
yo,
I was about
it's
to
funny.
say, how he just
It,
do that?
it's funny that you call him Batman, right? Because I was talking to him, you know what I'm saying, in the chat, whatever, like, yo, I'm gonna need your help, yada, yada, yada. He was like, yo, I'm about to come in the house right now. I got you. So that let you know he was outside fighting crime. You know what I'm saying? And Nate, he took a night off from fighting crime to go help out with productions, man. You know,
You
Bruce
be
Wayne don't do that
tripping,
for
yo.
nobody.
Hold up,
He got
yo. Hey, I need you to understand something. We need to figure out what Bruce is in Spanish. What is Bruce in Spanish?
that's just so random.
It
Because
was.
I'm not calling him Bruce Wayne no more. That ain't Bruce Wayne. That's Brucelino. It's
Bruce
Brucelino
Alito.
Wayne.
All
Not
right,
Batman.
I'm gonna let you run with that. You only
Brucelino.
you though, Unc. Only you.
Motherfucker
So
came out
Nate,
of nowhere and just said, "Fuck baseball." God.
what's been going on in the unlimited softball league?
Oh, so in the AUSL league, man, you asked about we had a picture up, but I don't know if you ever even post a picture of that. You should be, because that's just still, that's not even videos. There was just they're at the midway point of their season. They're still going strong. I advise everyone to check out the games. They're usually on Fridays and this weekend. The Bandits are playing. I'm actually going to pull up because I have it set up for this weekend. Woo. What's today, y'all? The 27th?
The
27.
27th.
27. All right, what happened, Nate? You
Oh no,
froze?
I got it. Nah, I ain't freeze. I'm over here trying to find the. But from what I do see, the next game's coming up on Monday or July the 7th. You're gonna have the Bandits against the Volts and the Blaze against the Talons. July 8th, same games, and July the 9th. But that's for that upcoming series. Those games will be on MLB.com and ESPNU as well as ESPN2. So check
Ocho.
those games. Check those games out. Check those games coming out. Now, as far as stats are concerned, you know what? Stats. Let's just say we have A. Aguilar, who's let me get them. So for current right now for batting average, we have K. Stewart Hunter for the Volts, batting 500. B. Killinger. The only reason I'm saying B is because they don't have their first name showing up here right now at the moment. They're leading with 500 batting average. E. Caulfield for the Bandits, 478, and S. McKinney batting 472. For pitching, we have O. Alexander for the Bandits, 2-1. Most wins right now is R. Chafin at 4-1. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm just their website. I'm not sure why they have it set up this way, but I'm not throwing any shade against them. But you know, it's basically the AUSL. I said this is their first season with their partnership with Major League Baseball. Women's softball league, which is called Athletes Unlimited Softball League, and they're having their inaugural season. Go check out a couple games. Women's softball, you know, I've always wanted a women's pro league. They have some really exciting games. You know, if you don't catch a major league game, catch one of those, or even catch one of the minor league games that's going on out there, or catch the Savannah Bananas out there. If you're in the Georgia area, Austin, go catch the Savannah Bananas. They're like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball.
Yeah, they're fun and entertaining. I'm not gonna front. I'm on the waiting list to get some tickets, yo, to go see them play.
Oh yeah, for real?
Yeah, because my son, he want to go. So I was like, all right, whenever we get tickets, yo, like whenever they hit me up and say I can buy some tickets, yo, I'm gonna get some. We out there.
Nice.
Yeah. But on a serious note though, yo, your man Wander Franco was found guilty of sexual abuse, yo.
Yeah, so we don't need a bit for that. Wander Franco was convicted of sexual abuse. He's actually been given to a suspended 2-year to suspended 2 years as he was having relations with an underage minor when he was 21 and they were 14 years old.
Just found Tampa Bay Rays shortstop Wander Franco guilty of sexual abuse of a minor. As a result, they gave him a 2-year suspended sentence, meaning if he fails to meet the conditions set by the judge, he will have to serve prison time. Those conditions are not to interact with any minors with sexual intentions. We have reached out to the Rays to hear if they have any comment at all. The question now becomes whether Franco will even be able to receive a work visa to return to the U.S. to play for any Major League Baseball team. We'll let you know just as soon as we hear back. And as we
That's crazy.
That nigga on Fat Joe type of time.
Oh man.
To steal a phrase from Jay, ladies and gentlemen, the opinions of those here on the podcast are not those of the entity, but of that individual and that individual only. Those opinions are of Leo of his own, mine of my own, Jay of his own,
What?
and Unc of his own, and anyone else, Corey of his own, and Troy of his own, and Arthur of his own. So everybody speaks for themselves. They do not speak for the entire group.
Yes. Yeah, that was crazy. But
So yeah, so with that situation, it's unfortunate because think about it, it was 600 pages of evidence, and actually, what they did was they actually gave the mother of the daughter 10-year sentence for receiving payments and cards in exchange for allowing this relationship. Because this happened in the Dominican Republic.
Oh, correct that. They on some R. Kelly type of time.
yeah, I don't see nothing wrong.
Now with this situation, even if they talk about him getting a visa, I don't see a major league team willing to take that wanting to have that publicity travel with them. So, it might be really hard for him to actually find another team that's willing to take on that to take him on, because that's a lot. That's a lot. And nowadays, especially when you get any kind of conviction, something like that, especially sexual assault, it's going to be a lot of backlash behind that. So he also, Wando's also facing a separate legal case for a gun charge as well.
Oh, so he doesn't.
The one thing I think, and if I'm wrong about it, anybody could correct me. He had when they asked him about doing it, he didn't apologize for it. It was kind of like he said, I would do it again.
So that lets you know he's just a predator.
Old ass ruthless predator.
He's just a predator, grade A predator, yo.
And now Major League Baseball I will say they do have a collective bargaining, which is called the Joint Domestic Violence, Sexual Assault, and Child Abuse Policy, that reflects their commitment to this issue. So they are aware of it, and they'll conclude their investigation. They will conclude their investigation, because they also had one with Trevor Bauer, who was a pitcher for the Dodgers, and he was suspended under the domestic violence policy for a 324-game ban back in April of 2022. After multiple women had accused him of sexual abuse, his suspension got reduced to 194 games later on an appeal. There has been some rumors on that one. Bauer still hasn't been with a major league team, because even though there were stories and things that came out that alleged that the people who alleged was actually lied about their stories.
You mess around and fall asleep, son. We're gonna put you on the big screen. I see you, Careful.
Try it, man.
I see you, man. We put you on the big screen, don't do it.
I don't. It's big enough.
I don't condone violence, but sometimes certain people need an eye jammy. You talking about somebody's mother and they passed away, you get an eye jammy. You over here mess with underage girls or children, you get a double eye jammy. I don't think Major League Baseball needs to suspend him. I think he needs to get the Pete Rose, and you just don't come back, bro. You out of it.
That's possible, because if he was to come back, he would still end up serving a suspension time under the MLB policy. So it's a possibility that we will never see him again play Major League Baseball.
Don't even suspend him, yo. Just you just can't come back, yo. You expelled, yo. Get out of here, bro. We don't need you. You know what I mean? But
are we able to pull that video? That I know it's kind of cringeworthy. Were we able to pull up that Griffin Shannon video?
Oh, that wasn't me. That was Leo who played that other video. I don't know if he knows where the Griffin Shannon video is at in the chat.
It's one of the last videos that got put up there. I just did that earlier today. If he's able to pull that video, he's still on. Robin might need some help.
Oh,
He said, give him 1 second. You know what I'm saying? You know the production's got a producers, and he gonna let it do what it do.
he went to the
Um,
utility. He went to the utility belt.
And we appreciate it. If he's not able to, if he happens to pull it up, we will. But until that time, we're going to move on to the shining stars for this week, and we're going back to the majors after the last 2 weeks. You know, we were shining college and the combine. We're going to start off with in the National League, Jacob Mizorowski for the Milwaukee Brewers. Jason Mizorowski, as you heard his name earlier, born April 3rd, 2002, is the starting pitcher for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's from Blue Springs, Missouri. Age 23 at number 32. As you see his stats there, he is 3-0 with a 1.13 ERA with 19 strikeouts. Mizorowski has shown he has pitched well and pitched great over the last his first 3 starts. Registered 136 strike, and then when he was in the NCAA, he was named second team NJCAA All-American after going 10-0 with a 2.72 ERA and registered 136 strikeouts in 76 innings pitched.
mm.
He joined and he just joined the Milwaukee Brewers. He signed with the Brewers on July 27 of 2022, as he was drafted 63rd overall in the draft in 2022. And then he started the season this year with the Milwaukee Brewers recently over the last couple weeks, as after spending time down in AAA Nashville with the Nashville Sounds. And next up we have Garrett Crochet of the Boston Red Sox, who currently has a record of 7-4 with a 2.06 ERA, 135 strikeouts currently right now for Garrett Crochet. Excuse me for a little error. You know, I'm dealing with computer issues because I probably need a whole new computer.
Donations.
And we can see as well, we had a brief moment of the AUSL. Crochet again pitches for the Boston Red Sox, number 35. Bats left-handed. He had a great game against the Yankees earlier this season, with striking out 11 in New York. One of the top pitchers in the league currently right now, even though he's tied 14th, as you see in his win-loss. Don't take that for granted. As you see, 135 strikeouts, and we're just getting ready to hit the All-Star break for this season. He is one of Boston's top pitchers. As you know, they have Walker Buehler as well, but Buehler has started pretty slow this season so far. Excuse me. Also, so Crochet was born June 21st, 1999. He's 26 years old from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. He made his major league debut September 18th for the Chicago White Sox. He has an overall career record of 16 wins, 23 losses, with an ERA of 2.89 and 429 strikeouts. He started with the White Sox in 2020. He just joined the Red Sox this year. He was an All-Star last year with the White Sox, 2024. He also was the AL Comeback Player of the Year. And he got that from undergoing Tommy John surgery in April of 2022, and he came back in 2023 when he made his return. And he had he appeared in 13 games, recording a 3.55 ERA and 12 strikeouts, of course, 12 in the 2/3 innings pitch. So those are your shining stars for this week. We went with the pitchers today. Next up, I don't know how we got that rolled up. I think it should be, well, it was the fan video, wasn't it? Leo, see if you can find that video with the Mets fans dancing.
He definitely can't, but he might pull up that video. This one right here where he takes Achilles.
Yeah, there's Griffin Shannon's injury.
Watch the leg, pushes off with the left leg.
You saw that. You saw his leg pop.
Yeah.
Watch the leg, pushes off with the left leg.
That's crazy. Those injuries, man, ain't no joke, man. Like, and these players are young, you know what I'm saying, that get these injuries. What do you think? What do you think it could be the cause of it? Is it overplay, not stretching, too much playing? because not too many players back in the day caught these injuries like this so frequently.
I'm
I
gonna
think
tell you what it is. It's the high tops. You need to bring back high top sneakers.
They
High
wear
top,
cleats.
high top
well,
cleats.
they got high top cleats. I got a pair in my trunk. I got a pair of Under Armour high tops in my trunk.
Oh, okay. But do you think that's the issue?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, Leo, you can keep that right there. Actually, we don't. No, I don't know. Sometimes you look at stuff like that. That's a freak accident. Baseball, you're more likely to have the most freakish accident, and that'll put you out for the rest of the season. Than you're more likely to have a non-contact injury at times than an actual physical one where you're getting hit by a baseball or colliding with someone. And with
That
that,
you know
you pop
what?
your
You'll get a
kick.
lot of arguments. You're gonna get some arguments. You know that they come back. What made you think we out here just like that? And we can be wearing other stuff. I'm telling you, I don't know how you can win that argument with these people around here.
What about the high tops and the low tops?
Yeah, bruh. I mean, again, I think it's. I don't know if it's prevalent, but it just seems like there's just a whole lot more of that going on. There's no ankle support, and that's part of your ankle. And I just feel like if you had something that was pressing on the back that was keeping that part of your Achilles tendon in place, it just seems more likely that it wouldn't pop than not. But if you look at everybody and their shoes that they were wearing at the time they did this injury, there's no support back there.
Yeah, I got you.
Uh,
So I guess
I
we'll
think,
see. With these injuries, see, people like Vlad Guerrero and Jose Ramirez had recent injuries. Well, Vlad got hit in the ribs. Jose got hit in the elbows. In retaliation. See, those ones would be injuries where you hit that right part of the body, you can put them out for a little bit of time or getting hit on the shin with a baseball. But just that seemed like a freak accident again for Griffin. So it's unfortunate, but like he'll be out for the season. So
right,
Dang.
we'll
right.
we'll see how he recovers from that. Um, as you can see on the screen, we have upcoming games. This is starting from this week. These are Fridays, this weekend's games. Los Angeles Dodgers against the Kansas City Royals, who the Dodgers just finished it with Kansas City winning that game 5-4. You have Seattle Mariners against the Texas Rangers. They're tied right now in the bottom of the 11th at 6
Let's go, Texas.
in Arlington. You got the Chicago Cubs against the Houston Astros. Again, the Kyle Tucker returning back to the place where he spent a lot of years at and won a couple championships. The Astros won the first game of that series today, 7-4. You got the Minnesota Twins against the Detroit Tigers, division rivals playing against each other. Again, Detroit, first team to get 50 wins. Minnesota took the first game today, 4-1. You also got the San Diego Padres against the Cincinnati Reds, which that game ended earlier, 8-1. As I said earlier, there was a no-hitter being pitched by Nick Martinez all the way into the ninth inning when he gave up a double that ended his no-hitter, and then the shutout got ended right after that. But
Always,
Cincinnati did
always.
get the win for that. St. Louis against the Cleveland Guardians. St. Louis shut out Cleveland 5-0. And then you got the Boston Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays division rivals as Toronto beat Boston 9-0 today. Then moving on to next week games as well to look forward to Monday through Wednesday into the next show. Leo, if you can move it over, but I can bring it up while he's doing it, or if he doesn't move it or not. We'll have the San Diego Padres against the Philadelphia Phillies. The Yankees will be playing the Blue Jays beginning of next week. Cincinnati Reds will be going up against the Red Sox. These are just key games. Kansas City Royals will be playing the Seattle Mariners in Seattle. And the San Francisco Giants play the division rivals, the Arizona Diamondbacks. That starts on those games start on Monday. Then bringing up the first of the month, July 1st on Tuesday, you're going to have the New York Mets going up against the Milwaukee Brewers, the Atlanta Braves against the Los Angeles Angels. So those are some games that you may want to look out for this week coming up for if you want to catch a game or so. And that's going on in the world of baseball so far this week. we have a tutorial video, the last thing we're going to bring up for today, and that's going to be from Dominate the Diamond. Leo, if you can bring that video up, it should be one of the last videos that posted. But it's a YouTube video. It's a tutorial video basically about the basic base running instructions. You just play a little bit of the video.
Hey coaches, how often are your base running drills boring and every single person on your team looks at it like a punishment? We're going to show you ways to make base running fun and effective in your next practice. We've got some super fun, fast moving stations that are going to make base running the highlight of your practice. Get ready to kick boredom out and bring the fun back into your practice plans. I'm Steve Nickerack with Duke Baxter from Dominate the Diamond. With over 20 years of experience coaching athletes of all ages, we're committed to empowering coaches and parents to take on the title of coach with our online resources like practice plans, instructional videos, and fun skill drills. Start improving your team's base running today with our specialized base running practice plans. Designed for coaches from 8 to 12 you, these plans are packed with 35-minute routines that teach players how to run hard, take smart base running angles.
Appreciate that, Leo. So yes, that's from Dominate the Diamond. Catch them on the YouTube page, Dominate the Diamond, and you can catch the full video of that on their YouTube page. Shout out to them. Base running is really important. It is important. People think it's not just about running. You do need to learn about base running in situations and when you're playing baseball, because a lot of times it's people who don't know game situations. Sometimes things happen. Like if you're, just to give an example, if you're on first base, your team say you're on first. Let's give an example. Unk is on first, Jay is on second. I'm up to hit. So I hit a shot. I hit a ball that maybe not necessarily is a guaranteed ball to drop. Unk is going to second. He know he got the speed to get to third, but he also has to pay attention to Jay to see if Jay is going to make that turn to third base and go home or not.
I'm out.
Because a lot of right, and a lot of that depends on your third base coach as well. Because sometimes what happens is they'll hold them up, and then you got somebody going from Unk going all the way to third, and now he looking at Jay standing on third, just chilling. Now Unk got to try to get back to second, but it's too late. Now you got to go up in a run up and the rundown, which I've had happen to me before.
Don't even worry about it, Unk. I got you because I ain't listening to the third base coach. You know I'm hard headed. I'm out. I'm going all the way, Unk. You good? You gonna go to third? All right, Nate. You gonna make it to second? You got to double.
You gotta make it to second, Nate. You got to, cause you know what I'm saying.
I'm going home. I'm going home,
Nate. If that ball's out there, and that's left center, bro. That's left center. I'm out, bro. Let's go. You got to go. Get on it.
So, you know what I'm saying? You know when you breathe like that. Listen, when you
look. Where's the mitts? Where's the mitts? You know you gotta have your hand. You gotta have them hand mitts now.
Oh, I'm old school.
So you can slide. You just got on your gloves, huh?
I just got on my gloves on.
No, I want one of them. I want one of them mitts they wear now. What the hell is that?
Oven mitts?
Well, what's one of them oven mitts? I want one of them damn baking soda mitts. Yeah, the ones that you go grab out your granny. The ones you grab your granny. Yeah, you grab the granny goddamn pans of cake in it.
That's the key from jamming their hands when they go to slide head first thing.
Man, damn you can't eat. You can't even jam your hand. What's it gonna do with that big old piece of toast?
Now I'm a man of my word, right? I'm a man of my word. I said if I was able to play the video about the Mets, I would
play both of them if you could.
So Leo, if you could, that video
wait. You said you could, and then you said Leo could. Who could?
Hush, man. Hush. Leo, can you please play the video that I asked you to play?
What you're starting to see from Nunez and appreciate even more than the guys dancing here is that he's starting to get control of the ball. He's starting to throw strikes. All over to the next row, injured for me. I would injure somebody else, falling on top of them. What you're starting to see from Nunez.
Leo, you can take it off now. We ain't got to keep on embarrassing. Like, you know what I'm saying? All you have to do is play it once, my good brother. I can't find the other video, but it was the fans singing "My Girl" at the baseball game. It was kind of dope, But that's what Nate was saying, how baseball is fun and just entertaining. And listen, the Mets are amazing. They have amazing, interesting fans.
I just didn't know how hot was it that day?
I don't know. Too hot to be doing that.
We're gonna blame it on the fumes and radioactive out there with them factories out there, you know.
Oh wow, that's what we doing. Wow,
My man became a toxic Avenger out there and shit.
you
That's
trying to throw
crazy.
flushing under the bus, yo. Let's not do that, Nate.
It's all it's all love to Flush and the Queens because it's New York City at the end of the day.
No.
Shout out to all five of the boroughs.
161st Street ain't too sweet, yo. I guess you said girl about my girl. Yo, that's what makes Flushing Queens so dope, man. You know what I mean? Only real ones lived out there, yo. If you ever lived out in Flushing Queens, you a real one. You know what I mean? So shout out to the Mets, yo. Shout out to the Mets fans. But Nate, man, you got any? What you got to say, man?
No,
I see you.
hey, yo. That was a noble shout out, my brother. That was good.
Okay, all right. I see you laughing. I see you smirking. Nate, is there anything else you want to enlighten us about MLB? What's going on? Any upcoming news? Anything we need to pay attention to? Any players we need to pay attention to? Any other highlights?
No, I'll be covering that probably the next show about in the for the All-Star break weekend. Like I will say, just catch a game this weekend. You know, tune in to one of the MLB shows. I'll say MLB Central or MLB Tonight. You know, for highlights. If you can't stomach a whole game, watch the highlights on MLB Central, which is on the MLB Network, or MLB Tonight. Don't watch it on ESPN. You know, no shade to ESPN, but I think their contract with Major League Baseball is ended in August anyway. They've kind of went away from showing baseball that much anyway, like they used to. But anyway, you know, other than that, outside of the baseball world, most people know I'm a big wrestling fan. Tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m., Night of Champions, John Cena versus CM Punk, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, Oscar versus Jade Cargill, Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa for United States title, Rhea Ripley against Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight, and Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross.
Okay. Make sure y'all tap in, tune in if you can, man. Watch a game, see what's going on. Yep, I told you I was going to put him on the big screen.
Get him.
Got him. Yo, so listen, we just want to thank you, Nate, for a wonderful show. Appreciate the freestyle that you was able to do, even though I had some technical difficulties on my end. You still kept it professional and profound and do what you do, man. Thank you for holding the fort down with us, man, and keeping us, thoroughly entertained. Being one of the co-hosts tonight, yo, because I am under the weather, tad bit. Shout out to Leo in the cut, man, doing the productions, came through in the last minute, you know what I'm saying, like the superhero that he is. That's why we call him the Dark Knight, you know what I'm saying, even though he light-skinned. You know what I mean? That's the big homie right there. He held us down. Yo, again, make sure you tune in every Monday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because we have D Rigger presents Moments with Unc. You know what I'm saying? Thoroughly keep you entertained, man. It's a funny show. We be kicking our talk, you know what I'm saying, doing what we do. Tomorrow night at about, 10:30ish, maybe 11 o'clock-ish, whatever time we get the whole crew up in here. We'll have the Virtual Man Cave podcast holding it down. You know what I'm saying? We got me, Model Citizen J, MLB Nate the Great. We got D Rigger, you know what I'm saying, aka Unc. We got the Dark Knight Leo, you know what I mean? We got Troy the Chef. We got the Panama Print Show, Arthur Sobers. You know what I mean? You know, when Corey, he be popping up, showing out the mayor. So again, thank y'all for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? We gonna see y'all next week, yo. Peace, love, and hair grease, yo. We out of here.